is in session. This is the Draft Seminar Rookie Profile series hosted by Matt Hicks, the FF Educator, and I am joined as always by John Laub, the Gridiron Scholar. This is the Alec Pierce Fantasy Football Rookie Profile episode. Alec Pierce, one of my personal favorite sleepers out of Group of Five, Cincinnati. John, before we jump into this episode, want to make sure folks know that they can follow all of our future rookie content, as well as go back and listen to all of the episodes of the Rookie Profile series on the Rookie Big Board podcast channel, the Rookie Big Board YouTube channel, as well as the NFL Draft Bible podcast network. You can find more of John's work at footballdiehards.com, and you can check out all of my rookie content, including the recently released 2022 rookie guide at patreon.com/the FF Educator. Here we go. Alec Pierce, the big man from the Bearcats.
Matt, I really want to like Alec Pierce. I really want to put him up my boards higher. But I do have some concerns, not only from a production, but also a film point. Draft capital is really going to be the final evaluation because he's a perplexing prospect in my mind, because there are moments of brilliance where I'm like, whoa, what a great play. And then there's other times as a Bearcat follower and watching a lot of their games with Desmond Ridder, he just disappears. And you never know for sure if it's him or the offensive scheme. So he's been up and down in my book. But last year, he did put it all together, Matt. He was second team All-American Athletic Conference. He set career highs in receiving yards with 867 and touchdowns with 8 on only 52 receptions. He was named the COSITA First Team Academic All-American Team. The young man did it on the field and in the classroom. We go back a little bit in 2020. He only played in 6 games because of an injury. 17 receptions for 315 yards and 3 touchdowns. So we go back to 2019. He did start in 13 of 14 games that year, and he had 37 receptions for 652 yards and 2 touchdowns. One of the bright spots, as a true freshman, he played in 11 games, but mostly as a special teamer, Matt. So he has been on the field, but he does have that dual ability to help a team on special teams immediately. He has earned a mechanical engineering degree from the University of Cincinnati. Really like this young man. In high school, a 3-star prospect and the number 24 player in the state of Illinois. I do believe that he's going to be drafted. I see the ceiling with Alec Pierce, and I want to bet on the ceiling. Matt, what does your film grade say?
I love this. This might be one of the first prospects after 40-something that me and John are perfectly on the same page as. And we tell you we don't pre-script, so here's your example of it. Well, let's start here why my excitement comes through for Alec Pierce. It starts with contested catchability. He is an absolute monster at the catch point. He's very comfortable working through double coverage in particular. Flip on the Notre Dame tape. You can see him really navigate well through double coverage. He has good body positioning and good vertical ability as well. And he's fast, John, for his size. He runs really well in a straight line, and he accelerates specifically well along the boundary. Alec Pierce is going to play a particular role in the NFL, right? You know, think Michael Pittman-esque. You're going to put him along the boundary. You're going to hope he gets volume there, and you're going to be able to toss the ball up to him, you know, in a straight line, run a 9-route downfield, but also you can rely on him to put his body in a good position and be comfortable working along the sidelines. He's got consistent hands, John. He holds on well through contact. He has good concentration. Here's the thing, though. If you're into yards after catch potential, if you're into elusive wide receivers, if you're into guys who are going to get you yards after the catch, that's not Alec Pierce. He's doing his work before the catch. We're going to have to hope here that Pierce has a good depth of target in the NFL and has ample red zone opportunity, right? Those are going to be 2 things here that are probably going to affect his ability to make a difference at the next level. Nonetheless, though, he is definitely one of my favorite sleepers here coming out of the 2022 NFL draft cycle. John, let's get back into those numbers.
My production model, he doesn't pop. And there are things that I like. the production model is similar to watching him play football, Matt. There are one stat really stands out, and if you watch the Bearcats, they took a lot of shots with Alec Pierce down the field. And look at that yards per reception. Over his career, he averaged 17 and a half yards per reception. You mentioned him, put him out on the boundary, 6'3", 211. He has the size and the athletic ability. And how do we know he has the athleticism? Bruce Feldman of The Athletic put him on his freaks list last summer, and then he went to the combine, and he was very impressive with his raw athletic ability. So he has the size and the athletic ability that we're looking for. But the production model there, Matt, only 106 career receptions. I will give it a little deference because he got injured one year, and the Bearcats aren't putting the ball up. I mean, if he was on a more prolific offense, maybe he would have had 160 career receptions, right? That's just not the Cincinnati scheme that they're going to run. 1,851 yards, I like that. 13 touchdowns. But again, here we go with the up. Look at last season, Matt. Team aerial dominator, 26%. That's very impressive. I'm happy with that. And catch percentage is 63%. He's great athlete. He uses his speed and athleticism. He's not a perfect candidate. But Matt, what should fantasy footballers know about Alec Pierce?
Yeah, John, I'm projecting Alec Pierce here to go late day 2. I do think he's going to secure some pretty good draft capital, and that's when I think it's going to catch folks' attention, and he's going to see a bump in terms of his rookie value. So late day 2 for me is picks 50 to 102. It wouldn't surprise me, John, if he's closer to 50 than 102. I think the NFL likes this guy, and I think he's going to creep up into the second round, despite having a really deep wide receiver class. I'm projecting him to be in that flex filler range, which for a wide receiver, we're living in the wide receiver 30 to 40 range. I think he's somebody who can consistently plug into your lineup, especially as he works his way into more volume throughout his rookie season and into his sophomore campaign. Sometimes these types of profile guys, the bigger body guys who have to, earn their way to red zone targets and earn their way to volume, they take a little bit more time to consistently produce for fantasy football. So you might have to be a little bit more patient with Alec Pierce, but nonetheless, within the next couple of years, I do expect him to be an impact player at the next level. And I think that NFL draft capital, John, is going to push him up to have a mid-second round fantasy football rookie draft ADP. And John, that's a price I am willing to pay. I'm going to pay up to get Alec Pierce. This is somebody I'm excited about. Once we get into the second and third rounds of fantasy football drafts, I advocate for going and getting your guy. Be excited when you hit and be willing to take a risk, right? And that is Alec Pierce for me. I expect to have a high level of exposure to him. John, just like I hope all of our listeners and viewers have had a high exposure to the Rookie Profile series. If this is your first week watching, you have a lot of episodes to catch up on. Go back and listen through them. A lot of insight and information. And whether you're watching or whether you're listening, make sure you're subscribed because we have a lot of fantastic rookie content here coming up as we lead up to the NFL draft and also following it. As always, we appreciate you checking out this